Leave Her to Heaven, 1945. A film about obsession disguised as love. Glenn Roby watches a man walk free from prison and remembers how it all began. Jealousy is the most deadly sin. 2 years earlier, Roby had invited novelist Richard Harlan to his New Mexico ranch. On the train, a stunning woman named Ellen Berendt stares at Richard with unsettling intensity. When he finally asks why, her answer chills him. "You look exactly like my father when he was younger."
Summer clouds drift across the sky.
Couldn't you be a bit more specific?
I'll try. Watching you, I thought of tales in the Arabian Nights.
Richard tries to impress her with poetic words about Arabian nights and exotic perfumes. Ellen smiles knowingly. He's been quoting his own novel back at her. When she calls it rather sloppy, he immediately agrees, completely charmed. The train pulls into the sun-drenched New Mexico station where destinies will intertwine. Roby greets Ellen's mother and adopted cousin Ruth. Richard mentions his brother Danny couldn't make the trip, a detail that will later prove tragically significant. At dinner, Richard learns something unsettling about the Berendt family dynamics. Ellen casually mentions she noticed Richard's striking resemblance to her late father the moment she saw him on the train. The table falls silent. Mrs. Berendt looks uncomfortable, while Ruth exchanges a knowing glance with her mother. Richard laughs it off, but something deeper is stirring. Later, Richard finds Ellen alone on the stone terrace at twilight. He apologizes for his clumsy mention of her father at dinner. Ellen's response reveals everything. "We were inseparable from the time I was able to walk." Her voice carries an intensity that should alarm him.
Engagement ring?
Yes. I believe I better be going in now.
The next morning, Ellen rides alone to scatter her father's ashes on a mountain plateau. Richard, unable to resist, follows her. When he finds her, she speaks the words that seal both their fates. "I know now people you love don't really die." Over the following days, their courtship deepens through romantic picnics and intimate conversations. But Ellen's possessive nature is already emerging. She reveals she knows Richard mentioned her fiancé Quentin to someone. "I've been thinking about you," she says with that enigmatic smile. "And about Quentin." The beautiful trap is closing around Richard, and he doesn't even realize it. Their romance deepens through playful competitions. But even in light-hearted races, something darker emerges. As onlookers cheer Ellen's victory, someone calls out, "Ellen always wins." It sounds innocent, but it's actually a warning.
No, Ellen. Ellen always wins.
Their romantic bubble bursts. Russell arrives unexpectedly, and Ellen introduces him with ice-cold precision. "My fiancé." Past tense. She's rewritten their relationship without apology. In private, Quentin confesses, "I loved you, and I'm still in love with you." Raw, genuine emotion. Ellen's response? Is that a threat? She deflects his love like it's an attack, incapable of recognizing authentic feeling. Ellen has orchestrated everything perfectly. She's eliminated her fiancé and positioned herself exactly where she wants to be. Richard proposes, or rather, Ellen maneuvers him into proposing. "Will you marry me?" he asks, swept up in her force of will. He has no idea he's the one who'll never be let go. The scene shifts to Warm Springs, Georgia, where Richard's beloved younger brother Danny is recovering from polio. Their reunion is pure joy. Danny describing how he counted every turn of the train wheels, imagining Richard's journey to see him. It's the kind of deep brotherly bond that Ellen will soon see as a threat. Because Ellen always wins, and she doesn't share. Ellen's obsession is about to reveal itself completely. She's got Richard exactly where she wants him, but there's a problem. Danny. Ellen visits his doctor with a calculated request. Keep the boy at Warm Springs for his own good. Dr. Mason sees right through her manipulation and refuses.
But after all, he's a cripple. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
When Richard arrives, Ellen doesn't miss a beat. She instantly lies, claiming the doctor has consented to let Danny come. Her deception is flawless and immediate. At Back of the Moon, Ellen confides a disturbing nightmare to the woodsman Thorne. She dreamed Richard was drowning in the lake while she watched, paralyzed and unable to save him. Her emotional mask is starting to crack. Even Danny notices something's wrong. Finally, Ellen reveals her true nature to Richard with chilling honesty. I can't bear to share you with anybody. It's not romantic devotion. It's pathological possession disguised as love. Ellen's obsession has been building towards something terrible, and Mrs. Barrett sees it coming. She delivers the film's most chilling warning. Ellen loves too much. It makes outsiders of everyone else. This is the one person who truly understands what Ellen is. But Ellen is already setting her trap. She secretly coaches Danny to swim across the lake as a surprise for Richard. Danny's so excited, so trusting. Ellen is weaponizing his love for his brother. When Danny starts struggling, winded, cramping, Ellen doesn't pull him into the boat. Instead, she tells him to float for a while. She's managing his distress with cold calculation, keeping him in the water where he's vulnerable.
Oh, water's colder than I thought. I ate too much lunch.
Richard sprints from the cabin toward the shore, but he's too late. Ellen has committed the perfect murder by doing absolutely nothing. Danny drowns while she watches from mere feet away. The death is ruled accidental. Richard's world has collapsed, and Ellen has what she wanted all along. Ellen's perfect crime has backfired spectacularly. She's losing Richard completely. She confesses her desperation to Ruth with chilling honesty. "I'm losing him," she admits. "I'll die if I lose him." It's not love speaking, it's obsession. Ellen can't exist without total possession of Richard's heart. Ellen probes Ruth, discovering Richard's tender nickname for her. Jealousy explodes. Looking at her pregnant reflection, Ellen delivers the film's most shocking line. "I hate the little beast. I wish it would die."
I hate the little beast. I wish it would die. Ellen. Shocked, aren't you? If you were having the baby, you'd love it. Well, I never wanted it.
Ellen has found her solution. In the dead of night, she deliberately throws herself down the staircase. It's calculated, brutal, and perfectly designed to look like an accident. She's willing to sacrifice her own child to eliminate the competition. The doctor delivers the devastating news. The baby, a boy, couldn't be saved. Ellen's sleepwalking story is accepted without question. First Richard lost his brother, now his son. Ellen's obsession has claimed another innocent life, and she's gotten away with murder again. Ellen discovers Richard's book dedication, "To the Gal with the Hoe." Her worst fears confirmed. Ellen's worst nightmare has come true. Richard's dedication to Ruth. Richard won't let her deflect anymore. He presses her about Danny, stripping away every excuse, every lie. And finally, the mask comes off completely.
did, I let him drown, and I'd do it again. I didn't want him around. I didn't want anyone but you.
Ellen sits at her desk, composing a letter to District Attorney Quinton. She's framing Ruth for her own murder before it even happens. Down in the storage room, Ellen retrieves the arsenic. Then she plants the evidence in Ruth's bathroom, the monogrammed compact that will seal an innocent woman's fate. On her deathbed, Ellen reaches for Richard one last time.
"I'll never let you go,"
she tells him. Even in death, her obsession remains absolute, the ultimate fulfillment of possessive love. Six months later, Ruth sits in the defendant's chair, accused of murdering her own sister. Prosecutor Quinton presents his smoking gun, an envelope of arsenic found in Ruth's jacket, and a bottle of pure poison. The chemist confirms it, 60% arsenic sugar. Physical evidence doesn't lie. The night before Richard testifies, Stephen Berendt warns him that Quinton will have his brass knuckles on. Richard knows the truth about Ellen, but revealing it means destroying himself. Some secrets demand a terrible price. On the witness stand, Richard holds Ellen's final masterpiece, a letter framing Ruth for murder.
Russ, I know she means it and is capable of it. She will kill me the first chance she gets.
If you don't mind, Mr. Holland, would you read that last paragraph a little louder?
She will kill me the first chance she gets.
Recalled to the stand, Richard finally tells the truth. Ellen was a monster, he declares, capable of suicide and framing her own sister. The courtroom erupts as Richard destroys Ellen's perfect plan. The jury acquits Ruth, but Richard's confession makes him an accessory to Danny's death. Justice comes with a price: 2 years in prison for the man who finally chose truth. Back at the lake where it all began, Ruth spots a familiar canoe. She runs toward the water in her white dress, toward Richard, toward freedom, toward a love that heals instead of destroys. Sometimes the greatest victory is simply surviving obsession.